What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Michael Knapp Fishing. Welcome back to another installment of Tackle Tip Tuesday. Today we're going to be tackling plastic, soft plastic baits. How do we store them? What do we put in the boat? How many do we really need in the boat? This is going to be a little more in-depth video. Hopefully we're still not going to get too long with it, but we are going to talk a lot about plastic baits today, how I store them, what I store, and why I have what I have in the boat. Alright guys, so as we all know, soft plastics are a huge player, especially in summertime fishing. You know, they play all throughout the year, but summertime fishing is a big deal, being able to go deep, being able to finesse them, whatever you need to do. So plastics are a big deal when it comes to bass fishing. So the big question is, how do you store them easily? I get asked this all the time, and I mean literally all the time. My Instagram is full of people texting me, messaging me, hey, how do you store all of those X-Zone plastics that you have? So I decided I'm going to do a video on it. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I store every one of my X-Zone plastics. So what I did, I went to Walmart and I just found some, what are these, 3M? Sterilite. Some Sterilite boxes. That's all it is. And my sister is quite crafty with her, what is that thing called? The thing that cuts vinyl, whatever that's called. I can't remember what it's called. I think that some people call it a cricket, I think it is. And I had her cut out in vinyl all of the categories that I would need on my boxes. So I actually have 4 boxes on the boat with me today, just because I know what I'm fishing during the summer. So all my other stuff, I leave at home. There's no reason to have it all. I'll show you guys how I store all my stuff at home in a different video, but this is just strictly for the boat. So, as you can see, worms. We have subcategories of everything. So we have the worms there. We have our swim baits. Majority of people don't need an entire box of just swim baits. I'm not most people. I love swim baits. I throw a lot of swim baits. It's full, guys. I got my X-Zone 3.5, my X-Zone 4-inch, my X-Zone 5.5, and we can't have just one color. We gotta have them all. We don't have them all on the boat, though. Thankfully, that's a no-no, something we don't do. But something else that I also kind of categorize in with the swim baits are your fluke style baits. You know, these are the whiplash shads by X-Zone. So I kind of categorize them in there with it. Really anything that is a shad imitator is kind of what I throw into this box. I've got my finesse slammers, great drop shot baits. There's some more finesse slammers. There's what I'm looking for. Grubs. Not something a lot of people think of, but I fish a lot on my spinnerbaits. And what does a spinnerbait imitate? A shad. So that's why I put grubs in here also, because I know exactly where they are. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, shad imitator, spinnerbait, chatterbait, whatever I need to be able to grab and get exactly what I need for the spinnerbaits. All right, guys, next box up is my last X-Zone box. Creatures. You guys know I use a lot of jigs, a lot of crawls. We keep a little bit of everything in here. And I classify creatures as crawls, bugs, brush hogs, chunks, punching rigs like the Punisher crawl. Anything that is doesn't really imitate anything else. Like it doesn't imitate a shad, it doesn't imitate bait fish, it doesn't imitate anything that swims really. It's mostly imitating bottom crawling stuff. Now, I know crawls we put on our jigs and stuff and it makes it look like a bluegill sometimes and all that jazz, but just your definition of creature baits. Crawls, brush hogs, chunks, beavers, bugs, all that jazz, all goes into my creature box. So, all those were Sterilite boxes from Walmart. I think they were like $2 or $3 each. I guess not a whole lot of money at all. You can write on them in Sharpie, but you don't want to use the vinyl cutting Cricut thing, whatever that's called. So we do have another box. It's a bigger box, a little bit deeper. I didn't get fancy with it. I just stuck my my lure lock tabs on this. And this is my miscellaneous swim baits. Random stuff that I use all throughout the year that are just kind of situational, I guess is what you want to call it. Kitex. We all know when Kitex shine in the winter time, but gotta have them. You never know when you're gonna need to drop down to a finesse bait that the X-Zone Swammer that I'm so familiar with, that I love so much, it's just got too much action sometimes. And if you have to drop down to a finesse bait, what's better than a Kitex? So, lots of Kitex in here. What else do we got? What else we got? Just some random stuff that I wanted to try, like the River to Sea D-Walker. Just kind of wanted to try it, so you know, I threw it in here. Zoom flukes. I use those a lot when it comes to the donkey rig, I guess is what you call it. I refer to it as a double fluke rig. I use these a lot because they have a different action than the X-Zone Whiplash shad. So I actually put a zoom on the front and I put a Whiplash shad on the back. Well, you know what I'm talking about. On the two different hooks, one's front, one's back, whatever you want to call it. So it's two different shads. It gives it a different look a lot of the time, and I get bit that away a lot more than if you just had two of these or two of the Whiplash shad. So one and one, I kind of just, I don't throw it very often, but when I do, I mix it up like that. And then of course, you know, there's no reason to have this in my other boxes. How often are we gonna throw a massive swim bait? This is a Bastrix swim bait. Don't throw it very often, but when I do, I like to know where it is. That's the 8-inch model. Just a couple of other odds and end things. Like these were the inline blood swimmers, or I think that's what he calls them, by Mattingly Custom Baits. He's out of Kentucky. He poured a couple of those for me in all white for the Norris Lake BFL back in 2018. I still have them. I didn't use all of them, so I still use them from time to time. So this is just kind of the miscellaneous box. I throw whatever I need, random stuff in there. If it's you know, if it's certain Z-Man swim baits that I need, if it's certain finesse worms that I actually have some of the Z-Man TRDs in here. Mattingly Custom Baits actually pours one of my all-time favorite colors in a trick worm, and you know, I use it too. But like I said, guys, you know, everything is all about organization, knowing where everything is. You know, when it comes to my X-Zone gear, I know I have 3 tubs of X-Zone stuff. I have my creatures, I have my worms, and I have my swim baits. Those are all my X-Zone stuff. And then I have the miscellaneous. I have the random box over here of just random stuff. Stuff that you never know when you're going to need it. You never know when it's going to come in handy. But even the pros, you know, the pros that are making thousands and thousands of dollars off of Strike King, off of Zoom, off of Yum, and that's their sponsor. Just like X-Zone is my sponsor for plastics, they don't make every single thing that a bass is always going to buy. Nobody does. Zoom doesn't. Yum doesn't. Strike King doesn't. Nobody does. You're always going to have a little bit of extra stuff from other people. It's just how it is. It's how it's going to go. So always having a miscellaneous box of random baits that you may or may not need, and then always having the organization of what your go-tos are, knowing exactly where your worms are, knowing exactly where your creatures are, knowing where your swim baits are. It's all about the organization and being able to find everything super easily. Guys, I really appreciate y'all watching these videos. If you're enjoying the Tackle Tip Tuesdays, please leave a comment below. Let me know that you like them. If there's something else out there that you're wanting to see, you know, I'm going to do some knot videos. I'm going to do a bunch of random stuff for Tackle Tip Tuesdays. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you guys want my opinion on. Shoot me a message on YouTube. Shoot me a message on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you see the videos. Shoot me a message. Be like, hey, Nap, I want you to talk about this. I want to see how you do this. Let me know, guys. I have no problem whatsoever doing a video. I enjoy doing the videos, and I think y'all would really, you know, everybody would benefit from seeing what some of the other questions are that people just don't think about. So if you guys like the video, hit that like button, leave a comment, hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it, guys. I'll see y'all out on the water. Take care, guys.